Does that sound like, I mean, look at all this travel. Does this look like somebody that's really worried about the sewer system in Manhattan, or look at the rat problem on the streets of New York? When you have a public position, you have to be beyond reproach.
He was put up in the Bentley Suite in the St. Regis Hotel in Istanbul.
You know, those are hard to turn down.
He told the public he received no gifts, even though he was secretly being showered with them.
And here's the thing about that, and this is where other people will come into play. He didn't just do that on his own. He instructed others to do that on his behalf.
Mayor Adams engaged in a long-running conspiracy in which he solicited and knowingly accepted illegal campaign contributions from foreign donors and corporations.
But one of the things about payments, travel, hotel, all that stuff is documented. And you can't fight documents. He's not going to be the mayor for long, guys. He just isn't.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your very own board-certified criminal defense lawyer, here with our content genius, Michael Rivers. He's behind the camera, in front of the camera, behind the microphone. He is the man behind the plan. He is the one who does all the editing. He creates our content. He is basically a mirror image of me. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, CLR fans. Thank you for the recent success, and go to clrbrucerivers.com for merch.
So we are reacting today to Mayor Eric Adams getting indicted. First time, a sitting New York mayor being indicted for corruption charges. But before we get to that, you know, my grandma is just wailing away in her basement, and in my basement, actually. And, you know, she's not facing any corruption charges, but she is facing old age, and she's trying to do things the best she can. And so what I do with my grandma in the basement, I have a power of attorney so I can protect her. You know, she's got her own business entities that she does, but she doesn't really know how to make her OnlyFans feet page. Whether you need a power of attorney or a bill of sale, you know, go to eforms.com. Eforms.com has been a very loyal sponsor to our program. If you sell a car, or if you have a rental agreement, any kind of power of attorney, eforms.com. It's a very effective way to avoid the high cost of a lawyer and protect yourself in and out of court. So eforms.com, very loyal sponsor to the show. Use them if you need them. And I use them all the time. Okay. So Mayor Eric Adams had his Gracie Mansion, which is where the mayor lives. He's not going to be the mayor for long, guys. He just isn't. He has vowed to have his lawyers take care of this problem. While they're taking care of the problem, he's going to take care of the 8.3 million citizens of New York that he was elected to protect and defend. And so what is he looking at? They executed a search warrant on the Gracie Mansion, which is where the mayor lives. They also executed search warrants on electronic devices of his staff, and other people. So one of the things he's charged with is Adam travels to Turkey and begins accepting illegal campaign contributions and personal benefits. So in 2015, Adams travels to Turkey and establishes a corrupt relationship with Turkey. One of the things that they did is they gave him travel, stayed in nice hotels. We got illegal money coming in from foreigners. And we also have favors for favors. So we do this for you. Okay, we want you to approve the consular for Turkey because the president of Turkey is coming. And so what does he do? He goes to a New York fire, inspector, tells him, you approve this or you're going to be fired. That is quid pro quo. That is illegal. But this indictment, I'm not going to go through this whole indictment with you, but it is 59 pages. And that's just ridiculous. Michael's going to put up the video. So we're going to take a look at the press conference from the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then we'll hear what New Yorkers have to say about this.
Mayor Adams engaged in a long-running conspiracy in which he solicited and knowingly accepted illegal campaign contributions from foreign donors and corporations.
Now, he's innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But one of the things about payments, travel, hotel, all that stuff is documented. And you can't fight documents. And the U.S. Attorney's Office is going to have everything lined up like ducks in a row. And they win 96, 97% of their cases. I mean, most federal lawyers that do federal practice, criminal defense, have never won a federal case. Once you get close, they usually dump it because they're there.
As we allege, Mayor Adams took these contributions even though he knew they were illegal. And even though he knew these contributions were attempts by a Turkish government official and Turkish businessmen to buy influence with him. We also allege that the mayor sought and accepted well over $100,000 in luxury travel benefits from some of the same.
So now, in the broad scheme of things, the dollar amount that we're talking about here is not significant for federal court. It just isn't. What is significant is the fact that we have a public official abusing the public trust.
Same foreign actors who arranged many of the illegal campaign contributions. These benefits included free international business class flights and opulent hotel rooms in foreign cities. The mayor had a duty to disclose these gifts on his annual public disclosure forms so that the public could see who was giving him what. But as we allege, year after year after year, he kept the public in the dark.
So is the crime that he accepted these gifts, or is it the crime that he didn't disclose?
He told the public he received no gifts, even though he was secretly being showered with them. We allege that Adams accepted these benefits knowing that they were given to him because of his position. And in exchange for some of those improper benefits, he intervened in the New York City Fire Department's inspection process for a building owned and operated by the Turkish government, allowing it to open even though it had not passed the fire inspection. The corruption alleged in the indictment is, as I said, long-running. As we allege in the indictment, Adams' solicitation of illegal campaign contributions began in 2018.
And here's the thing about that, and this is where other people will come into play. He didn't just do that on his own. He instructed others to do that on his behalf.
After he started raising funds for his 2021 mayoral campaign, he agreed to take contributions offered by multiple Turkish businessmen, several of whom he met in Turkey. Adams knew that these wealthy individuals could not legally donate in a U.S. election. Federal law clearly prohibits foreign donations. That's how we protect our elections from foreign influence.
One of the things that's important if you're in office, like Mayor Adams was, is to have an advisor. Have an advisor that advises you on these campaign contributions, advises you on all the things that you're doing. Is this legal? And because guess what? Ignorance of the law is no defense.
Yet Adams directed his staff to pursue this illegal money to support his campaign for mayor. And as we allege, Adams continued to pursue foreign money in secret well into 2021. And it didn't stop.
And why would he do that? He doesn't need to do that. You know, he was well liked. He won the primary. I mean, you would think there'd be plenty of money in the Democratic machine to make him work.
With his first campaign for mayor. As we allege, in 2023, the mayor rekindled these corrupt relationships, seeking more illegal campaign contributions from some of the same foreign sources to support his re-election campaign. Adams also took contributions that broke other laws. As we allege, he sought contributions from businessmen far in excess of what the law allowed. He also allegedly sought contributions from corporations, which are not allowed to contribute at all in New York City elections. Many of those illegal corporate contributions were organized by the same people who organized the illegal foreign contributions.
So what's his defense? I don't know, quite simply. Because, you know, when the government lays out a case like this, it's pretty ironclad. You either accepted foreign money or you didn't.
And Adams allegedly disguised them all in the same way by accepting the money through so-called straw donors. A straw donor contributes someone else's money, hiding the money's illegal source. such as a foreign businessman, a corporation, or a wealthy New Yorker who has already contributed the maximum amount allowed. And as we allege, Adams circumvented all of these laws, taking contributions from exactly the sources the law prohibits, all to benefit his mayoral campaigns. Now, Adams also personally benefited from the illegal conduct alleged in the indictment. Adams solicited and accepted over $100,000 in luxury travel benefits for years from wealthy Turkish business people and at least one Turkish government official seeking to gain influence over him. Adams started accepting undisclosed luxury travel benefits at least as early as 2016. He took these benefits nearly every year through 2021. Here are some of the benefits that we uncovered during our investigation. In 2016, Adams flew to India through Turkey and received 2 free round-trip upgrades for business class seats. That's the highest class on Turkey's national airline. Those upgrades were worth more than $12,000, and none of it was publicly disclosed. In 2017, Adams accepted free business class tickets for himself and his travel companions to France, Turkey, and China. And he was put up in the Bentley Suite in the St. Regis Hotel in Istanbul.
You know, those are hard to turn down.
And one thing right now is that, have you seen what's been going on in New York?
What's going on?
I mean, with the migrants and everything that's going on, Roosevelt Hotel, and I mean, it's just New York is in shambles, and like everyone's pissed off.
Well, I just don't see why the mayor of New York needs to travel abroad so much. And here's the thing. When you have a public position, you have to be beyond reproach. There are laws that govern how, where, and when you can accept donations for your campaign, about gifts that you can and cannot keep, and things that you have to disclose. And it doesn't sound like he disclosed anything.
All of that was worth more than $41,000, and none of it was publicly disclosed. Also in 2017, he flew to China, again, through Turkey, and accepted 2 free business class tickets for himself and a companion. Those were worth more than $16,000, and none of it was publicly disclosed. In 2018, he flew to Hungary through Turkey and accepted free upgrades for business class seats. Those were worth more than $12,000, and none of it was publicly disclosed. In 2019, he flew to Turkey and accepted a free upgrade to business class for his companion and a free stay in a lavish suite at the St. Regis Hotel in Istanbul. That was worth more than $9,000. And again, none of it was publicly disclosed.
And I don't necessarily know that public disclosure absolves him of any criminal liability. But if we look at this, you know, like Robert Menendez, he just was tried and convicted in the Southern District of New York for public corruption. And he accepted a Mercedes, he accepted gold bars. I mean, and it was all my wife. He tried to put it on his wife, but the jury didn't buy it. So when you look at Trump or anybody else complaining that it's the Biden administration coming down on Republicans, it looks like public corruption is on the table no matter who you are.
In 2021, Adams solicited business class tickets to Istanbul, stays at luxury hotels and resorts, yacht tours, and meals.
Does that sound like, I mean, look at all this travel. Does this look like somebody that's really worried about the sewer system in Manhattan? Or look at the rat problem on the streets of New York? And I'm talking about snitches. No, I'm kidding.
One thing I was going to say is also during this time, I mean, New York City offered immigrants $53 million in prepaid credit cards. $53 million from New York City's government.
I don't want to demonize the
I'm
immigrant
saying the
population, but I think the bigger picture here is you've got somebody accepting these lavish gifts and really diverting his attention away from the people of New York. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
All I want to say is, if I'm a New York citizen and I'm paying taxes, I want my taxes to go to resources for other people around me and stuff I can benefit from.
As we allege, he asked to pay a nominal fee for all of this in order to disguise what we allege were in fact bribes. He canceled that trip at the very last minute, but the benefits that he solicited were worth more than $21,000. And later in 2021, Adams flew to Ghana, again, through Turkey.
One of the issues here is where is he continually flying through? Turkey. So let's hear what the average New Yorker has to say.
Well, Eric Adams has always been a person who called himself an everyman, and he frequently spoke about his faith.
I felt in a way this morning when his school chancellor finally stepped down, and all the other ones that just recently stepped down. It was a reason for that.
They gotta show me some proof. They gotta prove it.
I think he was well liked, but these charges are serious, and they will end his career. So we've got a situation where you've got a sitting mayor who's now being charged with 56-page indictment of public corruption, accepting gifts, not reporting them, and to the tune of a little over $100,000. And then we have a situation where there's a and he's running for re-election. How do you run for re-election on this? With 4 other candidates that have come into the race, you just can't make this shit up. And this is going to be a heck of a trial. It won't be televised because it'll be in federal court, but he'll go to court. He won't be held like Diddy. This is not that kind of case. I don't think there will be a presumption that they'll try to hold him in custody. Totally different type of case. The stakes, while huge in terms of his political ramifications, practically speaking, I'd have to double check to see exactly what the guidelines are that he's looking at. But I don't think he's looking at a ton of time in the broad scheme of things.
Just now released, he made a statement about this. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's put it up.
All right.
Imagine you're going to sit there and you're going to try to defend yourself. We would, as a criminal defense lawyer, we would advise against giving a public statement, but they have to do it because it's their public image. He's running for re-election, blah, blah, blah.
Did you hear what the guy said?
Yeah, you're anti-black.
No. That's not what he said. He said, this is not a black thing. So they have all these black congregation sitting there. He said, this is not a black thing, Eric Adams. This is a you thing, Eric Adams.
Yeah. And really, that's what it comes down to. Our children are being harassed by the police. Our streets are dirty. In other words, and meanwhile, you're in a hotel in Turkey doing God knows what. The audio is just too bad, so I'm not going to play this whole thing. But he comes out and gives a statement. He talks about basically that they're going to fight the charges, that he is going to maintain his office, he's not resigning, and his lawyers are going to take the problem while he takes care of 8.5 million people. And we'll see where this goes. He's entitled to the presumption of innocence. Maybe there's some loophole where these expenses that were paid for by the Turkish government don't quite fit into the statute. I would love to see that. When you're entrusted with the office of mayor or senator, representative, or president, whatever, you have a public trust. You're entrusted with the responsibility of the public. And you have to avoid even the appearance of impropriety, even if that means you go overboard. They got pictures of the hotels. I mean, look at that. I love it when they do that because it just seems so charged when they do that. So he's got 5 counts. Investigation. Count 1, I believe, is conspiracy. Count 2 is wire fraud. Count 3 is solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. Count 4 is solicitation of a contribution by foreign national. And count 5 is bribery. So, I mean, these are very, very serious charges. And he could be looking at some very serious prison time, federally speaking. I don't think there's any mandatory minimum that we're looking at, but his career is nearing a close. You watch. There's going to be, after this indictment dropped today, you're going to see call after call for people, for him to resign. So we're going to follow this like we follow everything else. I'm Bruce Rivers, your board-certified criminal defense lawyer. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. Michael, where can they find merch?
They can buy merch at clrbrucerivers.com. We have hoodies. We have that wonderful hat that we've had since the get-go that we should probably patent at this point, but they can get
Stop
prints.
self-snitching gear all over the place at clrbrucerivers.com. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on or X, sign up for Patreon, subscribe. We'll see you next time here on Criminal